I go.
Dayne Duranti. That sounds tremendous, man. You having fun?
Absolutely.
All right. As I alluded to earlier, here we are at live lunch break. Dayne was in a band, several bands, that probably emphasized a more electric approach, if you want to put it that way. Is that fair?
A little bit.
And I was watching you play acoustic guitar, and I think that there are a lot of younger acoustic guitar players that don't appreciate the idea of dynamics, by which I mean everything is played at the same level of intensity. Clearly, dynamics mean a lot to you, right? Is that how does it talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, growing up, a lot of the stuff that I listened to in the 90s and whatnot was considered, emo. And emo back then is something totally different than it means now. But so there's a lot of, quiet, loud, quiet, loud, quiet, loud. It's kind of a dynamic that, almost a rut that a lot of people fell into. And now at 41, I haven't gotten out of it yet.
Talk about what your career was moving along pretty good pace, and then fatherhood happened. It wasn't an either or thing. Was it sort of a choice that you said, I need to do this now?
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't exactly like the timeline didn't add up that cut and dry. I mean,
right.
It was some things were going on with the bands. Some guys were doing something, some guys were doing other stuff, and I just kind of, at that point, got engaged. And then married. And I still actually, shortly after I got married, before I ever had children, I did the Barroom Democracy,
right,
which is on Bandcamp now.
Yep.
It's on Bandcamp, which I actually did in my apartment by myself, using things like washers and dryers and pots and pans for percussion. And I kind of lost my mind. I had a little Brian Wilson-esque thing going on for a little while.
I mean, you could do worse than Brian Wilson, yeah.
Yo, well, I'm definitely worse than Brian Wilson. I mean, listen.
You know what I mean.
But, yeah, and then, I just never really followed through with it. Like, I played some shows here, played some shows there, and, it was just kind of the transition to not do it. I mean, to not be playing with Dan and Jim and the guys who were like my brothers, it just didn't feel right. It took a long time for it to feel right. And those guys have already, like, texted me, like, 10 times today, like, hey, give it out, big arm, So, I mean, they're still my brothers, and it was just a weird psychological time, I suppose.
Talk about the difference between writing on acoustic for yourself and writing in the context of electric music with a band.
In all honesty, I've always written on acoustic. Back to the Doug days, almost every single song was written on acoustic. A nice Alvarez that my father had got me. Yeah,
Dad's here, by the way.
Yep. He's never misses a show. That's for sure. Everything from my high school days all the way up until the late 90s, I wrote pretty much everything on acoustic. So it's almost a natural thing.
So if it's a good song on acoustic, it can translate anywhere.
It goes good that way. Like, from acoustic to electric is one thing. Going the other way, not so much.
Right. Okay. We're talking with Dayne Duranti here at Live Lunch Break, and we appreciate you guys braving what is day 346 of the heat wave or something like that. And Dayne, see, there's an educational curve in rock music, and a lot of the folks that we have on Live Lunch Break haven't learned it yet, which is if you're a rocker, you typically wear black, which you don't want to do in the sun. And you have learned that today you needed white.
It's funny you say that, because I think this is the first show I've ever played not wearing a black T-shirt, to be honest with you.
See,
I felt it was almost symbolic in a way.
Yeah,
and,
all right.
And I know shorts aren't very rock and roll, but it's just too damn hot for jeans, man.
Yeah, it depends. No, it looks good. You're rocking it. I like it. The last song you played in the first set about fatherhood.
Correct.
Talk about the difference between writing lyrics at 41 with a family and when you're a 22-year-old kid for whom maybe, I'm not saying this necessarily as you, but beer is a real priority. Beer or
I still write
Saturday
about beer.
night.
I still write about beer. There's still, if you listen, there's still beer in there.
When you're my age, it still works too. So,
A lot less F-bombs, though.
but yes, you're writing with different messages sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of it's, almost coming from a moral standpoint now. It's like, okay, I have this decade I'm making up for here of doing, like, what do I have to say? Like, what can I tap into from this last decade? So, I mean, the stuff I'm writing now is all over the place. But, yeah, I mean, when I'm writing pen and lyrics and whatnot, I definitely take it into consideration. Oh, hey, that's pretty teen sounding. Let's get rid of that. I mean, there's definitely a conscious effort to be mature.
The good thing to know, another good thing to know about Dayne is that he is actually recording again. So at some point down the road, we're going to have product, and we will look forward to that. You playing anywhere in the near future?
Yeah, I'm actually playing this Saturday night. They're doing this thing, the United Theater in Westerly, which is open again, showing movies, which is really cool. Simon Holt, very, very nice Englishman, is running the show, and he's doing a block party in downtown Westerly, which is to bring arts awareness. He wants to try to show the world that Westerly is an arts town.
And it is.
He's working on it. He's doing a great job. So they're doing a block party where they're closing off a whole section of downtown. They're putting a stage right in between 84 High Street and the new Savoy Bookseller. And I'll be playing there. I'm playing on the main stage from 6:20 to 6:50, I believe. And then I'll be they want me to play a half hour in Maisie and Mana, which is a little store. They're going to have all these different musicians playing in all these different stores at the same time.
Perfect.
So I'm actually going to I'll be doing an original set on the main stage from 6:20 to 6:50. And then I think I'm going to do a set of mostly covers for a half hour, because I do a lot of fun covers.
I know
I can't do today.
No, you can't do it today. We can't be sued. But
Little Bad Religion, little Gaslit Anthem.
Nice.
Good stuff.
Well, I tell you what, it would be fun. You ready to play some more? Sure. Dayne Duranti, thank you guys for being here.